Good evening, Professor. My name is Chris O'Donnell. This will be the talk for the assignment this week over Table 6.1 in the Nordhaus book. We'll go over these four leadership styles and how I closely relate to each one. Directive, I see that more as the military style, specifically the basic training style of leadership. As you know, basic training is where they break you down as an individual and then build you back up as a cohesive member of a team. It removes all the ambiguity from specific tasks. So you run a certain way, you march a certain way, you wear a uniform in a certain way. There is no ambiguity. There is their way or the highway. And for that, you have to have clear, concise communications. You have people from all different backgrounds, all different intelligence levels, I guess you could say. Some people don't react well to certain phraseology, certain spoken words. So these instructions have to transcend all those communication barriers. It's also important because in the military we tend to deal with life and death situations. The majority of our jobs have to do with combat or combat related activities. And in those, you want people to be able to take orders and then react to those orders or react to that situation. You do not want them to question those orders, or there to be that ambiguity of, okay, well, should I follow this or should I not? Moving on, we have the supportive mode of leadership. I think this more like a repetitive task-based leadership where you have to have that support from the leader in order to achieve any kind of a goal. So an assembly line worker, for instance, where the task is, say you put tab A into slot B, and that's your job the entire day. You may require that motivative influence from your leader or your team lead or whoever it is, your line supervisor or whatnot, in order to keep your morale up and keep doing that task, because it is so involved in just the monotony of tab A, slot B, tab A, slot B, tab A, slot B, over and over and over again. That leads itself to mind wandering, getting bored, becoming very disenchanted with your job. So you require that supportive nature of a leader in order to finish that task on a day-to-day basis. Now we have the participative style of leadership. I've put this more in the military combat kind of thing, close related to directive, but not quite. You want that buy-in from the lower levels. I see this more as the general standing there in his Jeep and he says, all right, boys, go take that hill. He doesn't tell them how to take the hill. He just says, I want that hill. I want to put my observation post up there. I need you to take it. He looks at the lieutenant looks at the sergeant says, all right, boys, let's go. They decide on the tactics to be used. They are participating actively in that leadership style. It also allows them to react to that dynamic combat environment. It does not require, or they as individuals do not require leadership, that general sitting in his Jeep with his binoculars to tell them, hey, go this way, not that way. They on the ground make those decisions. They make them tactically. It's more of a tactical frame of mind in leadership as opposed to the overall strategic thinking that the general using his directive command participates in. Then you have the achievement oriented. I see this as sales based. So you're a salesman, your commission based pay. You are given a list and said, hey, call these people. I need you to sell 10,000 units by the end of the week. How you go about that, it's up to you. However, it's your job success and your pay is directly tied to how well you do that job. So how many cogs do you sell that? How many widgets do you sell that week? Again, and this is also risk versus reward. So if you don't sell 10,000, you don't get paid. So that's the risk you're running into. I welcome your thoughts, sir. And if you have anything else for me, please let me know. Thank you very much. Have a good night.